Hello gamers, this is Kyle with GameFreaks365. Today we're going to be trying out a new indie 2D shooter with a western theme to it. It's called A Fistful of Gun. It's another game from Devolver, which it seems like we've been playing a lot of their games lately. It has an offline single player, both an arcade mode and a story mode, but it also has an online and offline co-op. So far it's a neat little shooter. I've played about an hour or so far. And I wanted to share with you some of my first impressions of the game. In order to play the arcade version, you start off in this character selection screen. All the characters are unlocked, and each of these characters has a unique control scheme. Some of them have Xbox control support, some of them has mouse and keyboard. This one, who we selected, you use the left analog stick to move, you use the right analog stick to fire. And basically what you do is you point in the direction that you want to fire, and you release the analog stick, and he fires. Here we have, since we cleared this first level here already, these levels are really fast, by the way. You choose sort of a special ability or power-up that gives you an advantage in the next levels that you play. You can pick up these boosts throughout the game. This one is alcohol, slows time. Like I said, you breeze right through these levels. This game has a very heavy Western theme. You can play as very familiar Western folk heroes like Billy the Kid, but there's also some characters in here that aren't either from Western cinema or history. Now this character, you also use the right analog stick to reload your gun. So not only are you shooting with the right analog stick, but you have to, once he runs out of ammo, you have to reload the gun by moving the analog stick 6 times to reload the chamber. That was our first death. And they get you right back into action when you die. So just kind of run around the level and shoot people as they come near you. Try to avoid their fire, and that's about it. It's a very straightforward game. Probably the most important part of the arcade mode is choosing what power-up you want at the end of each level, since those can significantly give you an advantage. Things start off kind of slow, but here it's getting hectic already. But you can see some of the different types of enemies that you come at. Enemies that... oh, there we go again. Enemies that have guns, enemies that have arrows. You also have animals. You'll also notice these TNT crates. And that basically... Alright, let's try this again. But yeah, you have these TNT crates, and that'll clear out an area pretty fast. So I kind of like to just circle around and take advantage of cover when possible. Slow down time. Now some of those power-ups, like I mentioned, you can get things like armor. You can make it more likely that they'll drop alcohol, which is the slow time. You can also make it so that you start the level riding a horse. So if you're riding... well, I guess we're going to have to restart with a new... we'll start with a new character once I put in my name, and actually it already does that. Alright. right. But when you start with a horse at the beginning of the level, that basically gives you a free hit. If you don't have a horse and you don't have any armor or anything, one hit and you're dead. Alright, so here's an example of the different control schemes. The last one I fired with the right analog stick. This one you're firing with your face buttons. I'm using an Xbox controller, so you use A, B, X, and Y. Still moving with the left analog stick. Alright, that's a pretty fast level again. As you get farther along, the levels tend to last longer. They throw more enemies at you. Got hit by the train. And if you kill an enemy that has a horse, you can actually pick up his horse. They'll try to run off the edge of the map and escape your grasp, but if you can catch them, that gives you an advantage. Alright, so what are we going to pick? I tend to go for more defensive power-ups, but whatever you prefer. Some people might prefer slow time. And this is gold coins that they're dropping. Helps you increase your score. So the arcade mode is basically just trying to get high score. It's a very fast-paced game. Plays a lot like an old-school arcade game, honestly. Aren't a lot of coin-op arcade games anymore, but this is definitely reminiscent of one. The level layout is, I mean, it's not extremely advanced or anything, but they do have different designs, and some take place during the day, some take place at night, that kind of stuff. Looks like we're on a raft. My last first impressions video is for Rim Dreza. It's a really slow-paced space exploration game, so this is quite a different style of play. See if we can catch this horse. There we go. Oh, and they killed it already. Right now, this game is on Steam Early Access. Devolver is coming out with this for full release. I believe they said September 24th. Look in the description section below just to make sure that that's correct. I'll have the correct release date on there, but I believe it's September 24th. I haven't had a chance to play the online co-op. There's not actually anyone that I've seen online. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. But this is how the single-player offline arcade mode is. So kind of give you an idea of what you're buying before you buy it. So far, it's a really entertaining game. Yeah, I could definitely see myself playing this for several hours. Definitely adding friends to the mix will make things even more interesting. The game right now supports up to 8 other players in online co-op, and there's also an offline co-op, which I believe only supports 2 players. And it's pretty neat to see that they use these different control styles for each of the players. I guess at first it's kind of daunting to get used to each of these control styles, but it adds something different for each character that you're playing as. Potentially adds several hours of replay value. But this is hectic. Arrows flying all over the place. And blood all over the place. Sometimes it's best to just keep back and keep your distance, especially when you have a ranged attack like that. As far as I can tell, the level design that you get is random. Random in the sense that you could get any design at any time, but not in the sense that the layout is much different. They are throwing a shit ton of characters at us. I don't know how I'm going to take out all these enemies. One of the power-ups that I have right now is, basically it's a second chance, which is that cross there. I should be dead, but I get a little extra time. Alright, well that's gonna do it. Game over. Well, that's a respectable score, I guess. 147,000. Didn't beat my previous top score, but we did pretty well. Alright, well that's a Fistful of Gun. I will be coming back and playing this in order to review it later in the month, so be sure to check back on our channel for that. Alright, well, thanks for watching our video. Be sure to check out the Game Freaks 365 website and our YouTube channel for more news, reviews, first impressions, and Let's Play videos.